every story appears ordinary till you see the core side of it.
And what you're looking for is the story behind the news.
We bring it to you from Lagos, the commercial capital of Nigeria.
Giving you all sides and political stories round the clock.
Every detail from the start line to the final whistle.
CoreTV News, expanding your view.
A very good evening to you. Welcome to CoreTV Primetime News. I am Omotayo Alo. In our top stories tonight. And thank you so very much for joining us tonight. Now the news in full. The National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, confirms the death of 7 passengers out of the 17 on the boat which capsized on Ijeda waterways in Lagos. Promptly after the incident occurred, a team of emergency agencies headed by NEMA come to the scene in a rescue mission which initially saved 13 with 4 dead. But when rushed to the hospital, 3 of the badly injured victims lost their lives at the General Hospital Ijede, leaving 10 alive. And we pray that the soul of the deceased rests in perfect peace. Meanwhile, we move to another case of insecurity as coming barely a week after the monarch of Ubulu Uku Kingdom in Aniocha South, His Royal Majesty Obi Akaeze Edward Ofulu III was kidnapped by suspected Fulani headsmen and found dead in the forest. Another first-class monarch in the state, His Royal Majesty Josiah Agbaza, has been kidnapped by unknown gunmen. President General of the Olomoro Kingdom, Isaac Onome, says a combined team of military, police and vigilante have been mobilized to comb the area in search of the king and his assailant. Onome says security agencies had mapped out strategies to rescue the monarch with all their intelligence, as they are not ready to take any chances so as to lose him like late Ubulu Uku. And the Nigerian Air Force say it is intensifying surveillance to locate the abducted Chibok girls and other captives held by the Boko Haram terrorists in the Sambisa forest. Deputy Theatre Commander of Operation Lafia Dole, in charge of Air Component Air Vice Marshal Isiaka Amao, says NAF has also destroyed terrorist leadership hideouts, logistics support bases and infrastructure in its numerous airstrikes. It says the force has successfully carried out 286 operational sorties against the terrorist target between December 25th, 2015 and now. Further stated that efforts made so far has helped degrade the terrorists, denying them the opportunity to regroup. In sequel to last December's clash between officers of the Nigerian Army and the Islamic Movement of Nigeria, the Senate committee set up by the National Assembly to look into the case of the incident says it has begun the first phase of the investigation. Chairman of the committee, Ahmed Lawan, further stated that he would ensure the committee's findings is being implemented. Our correspondent has the details. The Senate had a committee set up by the National Assembly to look into the immediate causes of last December clashes between the Nigerian Army and the Islamic Movement of Nigeria, popularly known as SHAIT, is embarking on the fact-finding tour to Kaduna and Zaria. Chairman of the committee, Ahmed Lawan, said the committee had its earlier sitting in Abuja before embarking on the fact-finding mission, adding that the committee will ensure that its recommendation is being put to use to avoid further occurrence. Ahmed Lawan stated this during a courtesy visit of the committee to the Kaduna State Governor Nasir Ahmed El-Rufai. The committee applauded Governor El-Rufai and the 19 northern state governors for constituting the judicial panel of inquiry.
Senate ad hoc committee to investigate the crisis that happened in Zaria between the Nigerian Army and the Islam Movement of Nigeria on the 12th of December 2015. And we have come for a courtesy call to His Excellency the Governor of Kaduna State. And in fact, we had a meeting with the Nigerian Army led by the GOC in Kaduna earlier before coming to the Government House. We still have to meet the Director DSS, resident in Kaduna, as well as the Commissioner of Police. But we are also going to Zaria from this moment on to pay a courtesy call on the Emir of Zazzau, and we'll be visiting Gelesu, and particularly visit the Hussainiya shrine of the Islam Movement of Nigeria. No, our mandate does not include the public hearing in Zaria. Actually, this is such a very sensitive issue that we believe we can do better if we hold hearings, our fact-finding sessions in closed sessions. This is because most of the issues are very sensitive security issues.
The committee will proceed to Zaria to see the Emir of Zazzau and also to visit the Hussainiya headquarters of the Islamic movement in Nigeria before meeting with heads of security agencies in the state. As part of effort to conform to the weight directive of the Chief of Defense Staff, men and officers of the Nigerian Air Force have continued the fitness regime of the service with a 10-kilometer road work in Abuja. Helen Chukwunike has more in this report.
Neatly starched uniform with very fit officers and men used to be taken as a given for any military officer, as it was an aberration for any officer to be obese. Nowadays, overweight officers are becoming the norm, and in its bid to stop the wrath, the Chief of Defense Staff, Gabriel Olorunshaki, gave a directive that all the services should do something about the fitness of its men and officers. In line with the directive, the Air Force says all officers and men must be completely fit and ready at all times.
The 10-kilometer route march is a regimental exercise put in place by the Chief of the Air Staff to ensure that officers and men are fit, alert, and ready to go into action anytime they are called upon.
The 10-kilometer trek, the authorities say, is a test of the fitness level of its men, especially in the face of daunting military duties ahead. And for officers who did not attend with flimsy excuses, the force will wield a big stick.
Those are in the large numbers. Maybe one or two officers or men who still have maybe big tummy, but they are working on it. You can see everybody walked 10 kilometers. Even the few that had the big stomach, you could see that they are very competent. They walked 10 kilometers and are working on their weight to shut down.
The trek over in good time and an advice of making regular exercise a routine, the hope of seeing our military back in form is not misplaced. Helen Chukwunike, CoreTV News, Abuja.
And moving straight to the political arena, reactions have continued to trail the current leadership crisis rocking the People's Democratic Party, which has taken a new twist. Earlier, Ahmed Gulak, a former special advisor on political matters to former President Goodluck Jonathan, declared himself the new national chairman of the party. Though Gulak's bid to take over the leadership of the party did not succeed, but his action is generating comments from different quarters. Our correspondent, Basil Okafor, reports that Gulak's action has also pitched him against the top echelon of the party.
The man in the eye of the storm is insisting that his action was in line with an FCT High Court judgment, which ordered him or any other person from the Northeast Zone to be appointed PDP national chairman. He explains that since the court had sacked the acting national chairman of the party, Uche Secondus, the appropriate thing was for him to take over.
to challenge the continued acting of Uche Secondus, who is not from the Northeast. And on the 16th day of December, the court gave judgment that his continued acting as national chairman is null and void, and that within 14 days, they should appoint me or any other person from the Northeast. 14 days expired on the 29th day of December 2015. Nobody came up from the Northeast. I was the only person that have come up to be appointed. Now, they filed stay of execution of the court judgment. Today, the matter came up, and their motion for stay of execution was struck out, leaving by legal implication that I am now the chairman.
But his action has been described by some top PDP members as unfortunate and regrettable. According to them, Gulak unilaterally declared himself the new chairman of the party without recourse to the appropriate organs of the party.
If it's an issue of leadership of the party, we have the different organs of the party, the BOT, the caucus, the NEC, and NWC. All these structures are intact, and they're handling the issue properly. It's not a personal issue. It's an issue concerning the party and the Northeast, and we are handling it. So for Gulak to show personal aggrandizement, it's not showing the interest of the party at any level. And I cannot destroy the party we built for the past years in the name of chairmanship. Please, I completely dissociate myself.
Some political analysts believe the current crisis rocking the major opposition party will strengthen it if well handled.
There is nothing that is happening to PDP that is untoward. PDP has been in power for 16 years. It's not been in opposition before. It lost power, and many people are not sufficiently decorous to assimilate the challenges of opposition. And like you rightly said, we are all Nigerians. People react differently to things. If there are beneficial interests that normally a party in power gets, and they are out of it, some people are uncomfortable with it. I want to tell you that there is no crisis that cannot be surmounted. This is freedom of association. People can go, people can come in, and eventually what is happening to PDP, in my view, if it is well handled, will make it much more powerful.
In the meantime, governors elected on the platform of PDP have asked Secondus to hand over the leadership of the party to the party's national secretary, Adewale Oladipo.
And in a swift reaction, Governor of Bayelsa State, Seriake Dixon, throws his weight behind the embattled chairman of the People's Democratic Party, Uche Secondus, saying he remains the party's chairman. Dixon, in a statement by Chief Press Secretary Daniel Iworiso Maxon, says Uche Secondus is still the deputy national chairman of the party, and in absence of a substantive national chairman, the deputy remains in acting capacity until a new chairman emerges. It said that during the meeting of the Governors Forum, which held in Abuja, the forum unanimously condemned the decision by former presidential aide Ahmed Gulak to forcefully declare himself as chairman of the party. The governor further denies media reports of any division in the PDP Governors Forum or change in the current leadership of the party. It said there were modalities for the emergence of a party chairman, and the claim of having 3 chairmen run the party at the same time is far from impossible. And after the break, we bring you a development story in the Federal Capital Territory as it commissions one of its newly constructed roads. Stay with us and we'll be back with more.
Chima, what did they do so?
Same market now.
Hey, person when they buy the market, you don't get a receipt. What did they do?
Which receipt? No be pocket money they go.
Hey, you didn't pay tax.
Who be tax?
Guy, all these centers where they run, now tax you.
My brother, make I tell you. Good road, na tax. Security, na tax. No school where your children they go, how you think say them they take pay the teachers? Brother, na tax. And if you not pay your tax, my brother, then go lock your shop.
Abeg Tunde, where did they pay the tax?
Na for tax office now.
Carry me go there.
Who go? Abu, help us look shop, abeg.
Are you aware that the death percentage attributed to Lassa fever cases is currently put at 43.2%, a figure considered very high? Lassa fever, an acute viral illness characterized by high fever, muscle aches, mouth ulcers and bleeding in the skin, is harbored by rats and spread to humans via the urine and droppings of rats. To prevent Lassa fever, avoid any exposure with rodents, rats, as well as food and objects contaminated with rat secretions and excretions. Report all suspected cases of Lassa fever immediately to the nearest healthcare institution. Help prevent Lassa fever. This message is from the Federal Government of Nigeria.
Welcome. If you're just joining us, it's CoreTV Primetime News. A quick reminder of our top stories. And for more news and information, do visit our social media platform, facebook.com/CoreTV News, or Twitter handle @CoreTV News NG. You could get more on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/CoreTV, Live Space and News. The Federal Capital Territory Authority commissions one of its newly constructed roads at the heart of the city to ease increasing traffic gridlock experienced in the city centre. Commuters say this development is a solution to the end of hardship they experience in using old limited infrastructure in the face of a rise in the capital city's population. Ellen Chukwuneke was at the commissioning and files in this report.
The FCT has always been an organized city with beautifully carved out lanes, roads and residences with no encumbrances to movement as planned by its founding fathers. But with the rise in population, the driving experience, which used to be smooth and fast, devoid of bottlenecks even in densely populated areas, came under serious threat. The FCT authorities have now swung into action with the commissioning of this road.
I noted the advanced completion stage of this expressway, which is at about 90% completion, and directed that it should be partially opened to traffic to provide another rapid alternative route to movement in the east-west axis in the southern flank of the city.
There are other roads scattered around the city awaiting either commencement of work or are under construction. This particular inner southern expressway is not fully completed, but the authorities, embarrassed by the daily traffic within the axis, are now forced to open up a section of it, and that explains why its opening is tagged a partial commissioning.
The inner southern expressway is one out of the network of Abuja Expressway providing rapid east-west movement in the southern flank of the city, linking the Abuja to Kefi Road. This expressway commences where the Abuja-Kefi Road terminates by Mogadishu Barracks in Asokoro district. It traverses the city from phase 1 to 4 to connect the outer southern expressway within the precincts of Kuje Township with a total length of 35 kilometers.
The Honorable Minister of FCT, Malam Mohamedou Sabelo, it is my honor and privilege to declare partially open this southern inner express road in Abuja for the use of all residents in this city, and we pray that this road will be accident-free and it will be to the glory of God.
The minister says that provision and improvement of infrastructure will form the main focus of his administration. This premature road opening may well confirm the seriousness of the administration to fast-track measures to keep the city going. Helen Chukwuwike, CoreTV News, Abuja.
And yet another development in Plateau State as the World Bank, through its Fadama project, coordinators promised to assist the Plateau State government in its quest to revamp agriculture in the state. The World Bank representative commended the state government's effort to diversify the state economy, noting that Plateau State farmers use improved methods than others. Our correspondent has the details.
The World Bank says it has noted with admiration efforts made by the present administration to revamp the agricultural sector. In response, representatives of the agri sector also expressed readiness to partner the World Bank.
Permit me to personally acknowledge your personal commitments to lift our farmers in Plateau State out of poverty. You have demonstrated that you're a governor that is not just talking about agriculture, but you are ready to work for agriculture. You have been able to single out yourself as the first governor that will visit the agricultural development program and the Fadama office immediately after your assumption of office. Sir, since you have done that, I want to assure you that we will also work with you. The fact that your farmers are so advanced to the extent that they are built on an initiative that we encourage under the program, which has led to a very huge amount of savings among the farmers, and that has now been scaled up to a microfinance institution, the first of its type in Nigeria.
Governor Simon Lalong, who was also present at the event, says he is ready to ensure total diversification of the state economy, from dependence on federal allocation to the propagation of agricultural strategies with enough potential to sustain the state.
And so our focus shifted strictly to agriculture, first of all to agriculture. That is why we didn't waste time in payments of our counterpart funding. Even within the limited resources that we have, we started with agriculture, and I know we still have outstanding, which we are hoping and praying that maybe before the end of this month we will finish our counterpart.
Reports indicate that Plateau State owes its workers' salaries, with some of them stating they last received repayment in November 2015. They further added that such situation could have been avoided if the state managers are more prudent with state funds.
And still in Plateau State, the managing director of Jos Electricity Distribution Company has promised to assist in ensuring that government and residents of Plateau State get improved services from the power station. The businessman who made the promise at the instance of the commissioner in charge of power distribution in the state says he is aware of the pains consumers go through while in need of electricity. Our Plateau State correspondent has the details.
The electricity distribution company in Jos cut power transmission to the Plateau State Government House and the State Secretariat last year. This action is the main reason the State Commissioner of Power paid a visit to the Jos Electricity Distribution Company.
We understand the circumstances of the economy, and we will do our best to assist our customers because we also are part of this country. We don't want a situation where people would suffer because of this. Unfortunately, like I have said, this is a commodity that I'm also buying and I'm obliged to pay.
It's our desire also to look again at areas where we can partner closer, where we can be feeding to you and you can be feeding.
The government agent present at the meeting stated that efforts are in top gear to ensure errors of the last administration are not repeated.
Our governor is very, very particular about servicing the people of Plateau State, improving the service both in water supply and power, and has given us a mandate to ensure that the people of Plateau State enjoy these services. That is what we're going to do.
The Plateau State government is said to be heavily indebted to the power transmission companies, and this is a major source of the existing rift.
The Plateau State Command of the Federal Road Safety Corps says it arrested over 1,000 traffic offenders last year. The sector commander, Crawford Oti, who made the announcement, added that over 90% of those arrested were convicted speedily through mobile court. The report.
Official of the Plateau State Command of the Federal Road Safety Corps, Crawford Oti, says the command recorded significant successes in its strategic goals for 2015. He gave a summary of the command's 2015 Operation Zero Tolerance campaign, saying road crashes in the state reduced by 20% and fatality by 30%. He attributed the success to joint efforts of officers of the command and various instruments used by the command, which includes public enlightenment through advocacy visits and media partnerships.
We used mobile court. We prosecuted 1,059 offenders. From there, we convicted 942. The 117 offenders were discharged.
While reiterating the plan of the command to ensure number of road crashes and fatalities further reduced in 2016, the sector commander urged the general public to obey traffic rules because offenders in the state will be made to face the law. Otis stated that although 2015 was good for road traffic management, a lot still needs to be done for greater achievements in the new year.
The crashes we recorded in 2000 during that same period was 88. In the last year, that is 2015, Operation Zero Tolerance, we had 59. Last month, we had, and part of this year, we had 13 people that lost their life.
Observers opined that there is a reduction in road crashes and fatalism in the state and expressed hope that the tempo can be maintained in the new year.
And in the city of Lagos, a society where there is no law is believed to have no record of sin. In Lagos State, different administration takes it upon itself to tackle crime and lawlessness amongst its citizens. Coming on the heels of reoccurring accidents on the highway, the state government is poised to enforce its law on zero tolerance to flatten the rules of crossing the highway rather than take the pedestrian bridge. Correspondent Akin Obakaya completes the story.
Please, I'm not feeling fine, that's why. Please, I'm begging you. I'm begging.
These Lagosians were caught flaunting the laws of the state government by not using pedestrian bridges provided for safety purposes. The role of law enforcement officers in carrying out arrests of offenders is evident as the kick against discipline, popularly known as CAI, set up by the Lagos state government is not taken it lightly with erring offenders.
We try to correct them not to cross the express, but some of them don't feel like they want to cross. You ask, go back once way. Some of them know they have to cross. But when we arrest some of them that are not in the negotiation, try to correct them. This is how we do in Lagos. Don't do this. Later on, release them. And some of them that are stubborn, take them to us and charge them to court. They go and pay the fine. All this, they do a community service. They don't find them. They do a community service. That's what they give them. They don't find them money. We just have to polish them, to delay them for a minute, so that next time they don't try, they use the pedestrian bridge.
Public enlightenment is paramount. Some Lagosians complain on the manner at which the arrests are carried out. They, however, urge the law enforcers to do more on enlightening the public.
The way they do harass people is very, very uncalled for. So they should be telling people to go back instead of them around. See, look at the way that guy is being rough and into the black banner. We are in democracy. This is not military. So people should be educated. Tell them not to do this. Send them back. The way that I was coming here now, a guy was standing beside me as if I want to cross. If I want to cross to the other side, could have told me that, look, don't.
I will blame the government partially. I'm just coming from Ghana and they are having the same challenges. The government has done a long fence. No one could jump. The only alternative is to what? Pass the bridge. But if you keep on harassing people, some people may be visitors coming from travel, they don't know. They may fall victim. The government should make a high fence that no individual can even jump.
These law-abiding citizens say using the pedestrian bridge is the right thing to do, adding that feigning ignorance is not an excuse.
As I climb the bridge, it's okay for me. Why does the government say you should climb the bridge because of ourselves? But as I climb the bridge, I'm okay.
I think this pedestrian bridge is beneficial to all of us. It's for our own safety. You know, it's for us to live another day, because we can't keep crossing the road. It's dangerous, it's risky. That is why the government has installed these pedestrian bridges. I mean, if the government didn't install it, of course, we won't have a choice. But the government has installed it, and people are still crossing the express dangerously. And I'm a lawyer, and obviously there's a law that regulates such things. It's in prohibition of the law for you to be crossing the express when there's a pedestrian bridge. That's lawlessness.
Law enforcers stressed that the state government provided bridges for the safety of residents, adding that its non-use amounts to a sabotage of government's efforts. Meanwhile, some lawmakers urge Lagosians to desist from plain ignorance and ensure they abide by the rules and regulations of the state for their own safety. Akin Obake, CoreTV News, Lagos.
And still to come on the foreign scene is the cases of Zika virus infected people. Of course, pregnant women happens to be the victim. Join us after this break and we bring you more details.
Because I want to be a doctor and help people when they are sick. I want better education and training so I can be a soldier and protect my country. I want better roads to avoid accidents so I can get to school on time safely.
You can now watch CoreTV News live from anywhere in the world on our website www.coretvnews.com. Click on Live TV on our website and watch us live.
And welcome to CoreTV Primetime Days.
To follow us on Twitter, click on Twitter icon on our website. On Facebook, click on the Facebook and YouTube to see all our previous news production. You can also watch us live on YouTube. Click CoreTV, leave a space, then news. CoreTV News, a 24-hour news station.
Welcome on the foreign scene. The number of pregnant women in Colombia infected with Zika virus has doubled in a week. The mosquito-borne virus has been linked to babies being born with abnormally small brains. Report says almost 2,000 pregnant women now have the virus, adding to the already existing 20,000 infected women across Colombia. And also, about 100 masked men dressed in black have been gathering in central Stockholm to attack people from immigrant backgrounds. Swedish police say the large gang distributed leaflets inciting people to assault refugees. Witnesses say the men physically attacked people they believed are foreigners. This comes amid heightened tension in Sweden over the migrant crisis, with recent reports suggesting some 163,000 migrants applied for asylum in Sweden in 2015, the highest per capita number in Europe. Now we go quickly to stories in sport.
Our style, that's what he delivered. Usain Bolt storming, no, he takes Puyol with a flying lead.
Go taking them out the lead.
Jamie Murray became the first Briton to win the Australian Open men's double title in 82 years, as he and Bruno Soares beat Daniel Nestor and Radek Stamknek 2-6, 2-4 and 7-5. Brazil's Soares twice lost the serve as Canada's Nestor and Czech Stefnak took the opening set. Murray and Sons began to exert more pressure and broke in the fifth game on the way to the second set. A pair then served out for the win at the second attempt in the decide. And 3 goals and a Man of the Match award for Kelechi Iheanacho as Manchester City trashed Belgrade Aston Villa to cruise into the 5th round of the FA Cup. City went ahead within the first 4 minutes as the home side failed to clear a corner and Iheanacho swept in a finish from close range. Iheanacho's second came from the penalty spot after Raheem Sterling was brought down in the box. His third goal came just at the 76th minute and Sterling poked in the fourth. And just before we go tonight, a quick reminder of our top stories. And good to have you join us tonight. My name is Omotayo Alo. Thank you so very much for watching.